Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm here with Joe Ham himself. Joe, it's been a while, mate. How's things?
Yeah, all good, mate. Just down for Trump Tunbury for one of the boys in the stable, Nathaniel Collins. Just had a good stoppage win, so down to support him. Then back home now to Glasgow. It's a bit of a trek.
It's a bit of a trek, mate. I just said that to Nathaniel there. It's, I bet you that drive is nice during the day when you can see the countryside and stuff like that, but at night time it's horrific. But talking about yourself, you're here and supporting your gym mates, but when can they go out and support you? I know it's been I think you were out in 2021, that loss against Jack Bates, but it's been a while now, so when can we see you back out?
Yeah, it's been a year out the ring now as I come April, but I'll be fighting on the 23rd of April on it's one of the Fight Zone shows, so hopefully by the time this goes out I'll be able to announce it, so hopefully it's in April at some point, so it's good that MTK have got me back out with the ambition to hopefully fight for a vacant title I've moved down to Bantamweight now, so hopefully fight for a vacant title in June or July, whatever comes up. I was at Super Bantamweight, but making it easy and I wasn't really big enough things, but I think Bantamweight will be a more thing, so looking forward to the next challenge.
Well, that's it. I seen your Instagram post when you were hitting the bag, and you basically said in the post that got to give it all more now. You're 30-year-old, 2-3 years left in this game, let's see what I can get out of it. Now, I know you're a decorated amateur. We spoke a little bit beforehand there. You've had over 175 amateur fights and pro fights combined. So you've got the experience now. You've got the losses. You can call them lessons. You've only lost against Cash Asphalt, Jack Bateson, and the top quality operators, people that are thereabouts that are top level. So for yourself, down at Bantamweight, can you see yourself being a force down there?
Yeah, definitely. I says the 3 fights I've lost in have all been 3 awkward southpaws. Everybody
hate southpaws.
Everybody knows me, knows I like to have a fight, which is the 3 people I've lost to unfortunately is 3 awkward southpaws, but it's myself as well. I never duck away for a challenge, so when it got presented to me, it's probably rather than sitting down and thinking about what route I just jumped at the chance, I wouldn't say no to a fight. So looking back now, it's probably should have changed that about, but end of the day, it's all good. The lessons, as you says, and then been training hard right through. Even though it's been a year out the ring, I've still been in the gym because we've got a good group of stables that my dad has. So I've always been training. Then hopefully, as of get a fight April, get it back to the winning ways, and then hopefully get a title presents itself at Bantam. I'm ready.
Is that the sort of ambition now, as you allude back to that Instagram post that you've got a couple of years left in this game? Is it the titles that you want? Is it now to sort of like have that stuff to show the kids, the grandkids on the wall? Is that sort of like the ambitions now going forward?
Yeah, 100%. I says I've been in this game when I first fight at 10 to 30 now. I said I've been in the game 20 years. I've travelled, done all the amateurs, went 2 Commonwealth games, done everything that I could have in amateurs, and then same with pros. Some of the fights have maybe not worked out for me in the 6 years I've been pro. I realise that, but I feel when I've been with MTK in the last year, I think I'll get a opportunity now. I says I've been at 122, making it a bit easy, just maybe not a bit big enough. So 118, I think will be a good chance. Lee McGregor's obviously, I think he's going to move forward, so it vacates maybe the Commonwealth, the British, then fight for a vacant belt, and I'm willing to, as I said, I'll fight anybody. Sometimes that's been my problem, but hopefully with MTK they can go in the right direction, fight in April, get a win, and then let's go.
Ambitions for this year then, end of 2022?
Says hopefully I can fight. I would like to fight for the vacant Commonwealth, and I would love to fight for a British title. So that's more capable. It's more than capable of doing so, and it's more than now. As Lee's had it for years. Lee was meant to fight Cash. We know what happened to Cash. Didn't work out, which is gutting for him. And now Lee, he's got ambitions of being a world champion. So I think Lee vacates the belts. He moves forward, and then it vacates all them. Do you know what I mean? So the Commonwealth is a more realistic thing. So even a Celtic, do you know what I mean? That's vacant as well because Scott Alice moved down to Superfly. So there's fights to be there, do you know what I mean? So there's all bantamweight titles are all vacant, as hopefully by the summer. So I would like to fight for them all.
Celtic, Commonwealth, and then British.
Celtic, Commonwealth, British, they're all there. Do you know what I mean? So why not? And as I said, Britain's crawling with good fighters, and as you say, MTK, they've got a host of different people. So whoever they put in front of me, and it's the right option, I'll take it. Whereas before, I was just getting offered fights, and I would, rather than looking over it, I was just thinking, I'm not where else they're going to come from. You're just going to have to take it as your opponent. It didn't work out, but says I'm still a young 30. I says I've not had any hard fights, even though the fights I've had, they've all been on points to awkward southpaws. It's not as if I've been in fights and I've been leathered or put down. I've never, you know what I mean? It's never happened. Never been stopped in my life, amateur or pro. So I'm still kind of reasonable fresh at 30. So I'm still, hopefully by the end of this year, I can have a Commonwealth title run. So I find this 3-year deal with MTK. So see what happens.
Well, listen, 3 years is a long time, so hopefully big things will happen for you.
100%. As you said, I was hoping maybe get on the Josh card, but it's not happened. And obviously, hopefully now Josh, if he beats Catterall, which I'm sure he will, maybe brings another big fight to Scotland, and then I can fight or defend the title on that. Do you know what I mean? Because it says it's a Glasgow fight, I'm from Glasgow, so it makes sense. But whatever gets presented to me, I'm ready. Because as I said, I don't drink, I always live the life, I always have. So I'm always fit, I'm always fresh. You know what I mean? Even though when I've got good sparring with Nathaniel Collins and all the boys in the gym. So my dad's got a brilliant stable now. It used to be only be me and him for years, but now he's got 7 pros. You know what I mean? So it's good to get everybody training, and it's got me. Because myself, last year I was like, way COVID as well, you're just like no fights, it's just like, it's no bored, just plodding away. But I'm lucky enough, I'm a joiner with the City Council of Glasgow, but I get 6 weeks off paid leave every fight, so I can treat and do it right, do you know what I mean? So I was meant to fight in January, then all the boxing in January got cancelled. So I was just like, what's the chance, you know what I mean? But then hopefully something presents itself, so hopefully April, get myself back out, and then summer I'm ready to go.
I'm glad you mentioned Josh Taylor, because I probably will need, because he's obviously a good friend of ours. You've known him well through the amateur stuff. All the things you've done in the amateurs, you've probably got some crazy stories in the amateurs, but we'll leave that for another interview. Jack Catterall, undefeated opponent, 26-0, I believe. He's probably not had the chances yet to fight somebody like Josh, but he's a good operator. How do you see the fight going?
100%. As I said, I think a lot of people are just expecting, looking at the records, Josh undisputed. Jack's just obviously he's a boxer. I think people are just thinking he's going to go and blow him out, which I don't think is the case. Jack's a good boxer. He was a good amateur himself. I remember he boxed Charlie Flynn years ago in Ravenscraig and Motherwell. Do you know what I mean? So it shows how long he's been about. Then he beat Stalker and all good boys. So he's a good fighter in his right, and he's obviously earned the right to fight for a world title, which I think he's waited about 3 years for. So I just think it's unfortunate for him that he's coming up against a champion just as good as Josh. Do you know what I mean? But it's up to. I feel Josh is unbeatable. I don't think anybody beats him, to be honest. Whether he moves up or down, he's not going to move down, but whether he moves up to welter, I think he can just, he's got, the ceiling's massive for Josh, you know what I mean? And I think he just needs to keep winning, which he will do, and I think he'll, 4 belts he's got now, but I think he could move up and fair win a world title at welterweights already as well.
How do you think, Josh, what do you think, how do you see the fight going in itself? You obviously two excellent southpaws going at each other. Sometimes southpaws cancel each other out, but I don't think these two will they?
Nah, 100%. I think people think obviously Jack Caw's got close, but it's for Josh, he's a big tall boxer, but he's just as good as the inside. He loves to have a fight. He's been like that since I've known him, since we were wee boys. He's been the exact same. And people think because he's big, tall and rangy, he can't fight on the outside, but he's unbelievable on the inside. But I think Catterall will be smart as well. He's not just going to fly in and stand in front of him. I think they'll have a game plan. But I just think there's levels, and I just think Josh is at the top level. He's in the top 5 pound for pound in the world, you know what I mean? Which is rightly so. And I just think, unfortunately for Josh, I think he could win a world title. Maybe just not the now against Josh Taylor, which is, don't think anybody beats him, do you know what I mean? So it doesn't matter who you put in front of him, but I'm looking forward to it. It's next Saturday, so it's just as I say, I'm looking forward to that. So I'll be going to that 5 minutes down the road from my house, so I'll bet that next week.
Well, sir, I think your team are ready to rock and roll there, Joe. So you'll be walking back to Glasgow. So I better let you go. So April 23rd, can't wait for you to fight again, mate. Good luck with it, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers, Joe. Thank you.
Cheers, Andy.